Hey, what's up you guys? Matt Thibeau here with Savant Marketing Agency, and in this video, I'm going to break down the type of mindset that you need to have if you want to continue to grow your contracting business. Maybe you've been sitting around 400 to 700K a year. Maybe you're still on the tools and you're just trying to grow your business, or maybe you're just getting started. And maybe you're a one-man show and you're doing everything and you're just wondering, like, how do I get that next step? It may seem really difficult in the beginning. Maybe you've been at this for a while and you don't really know how to make that next step to start growing your contracting business. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the steps that you need to make to be able to do so after watching dozens of our clients being able to do so, and also being able to do that within our business as well. Because obviously when I started it, I was a one-man show, and now we have a team and all that. So let's jump right into things here. So the number one mistake that a lot of contractors will make is that they believe that they need to hire a great team first in order to grow. And that's actually not true, because most contractors, when they're starting their business, they get really good at doing the thing, right? So flooring, roofing, painting, remodeling, whatever it is, you get really good at doing the actual craft. And that's step number one, is figuring out how to actually do the deliverable, right? The promised end result. And you should master that. So step number one is master what it is that you do. And a lot of guys, though, will get stuck there. They get really good at that, and maybe they've got like a helper or two, but they never really get to the point where they can start growing. The reason for this, and maybe you're at a different level too, 500K, 700, but the reason for this, that you're not able to step out of that, is that you haven't figured out a way to actually get the marketing and sales down so that you don't have to worry about getting quality jobs put into your business. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is mostly what contractors are dealing with who have a small team and who are on the tools, or they have no team and maybe like just a helper or something. That is their number one problem, is that they don't have a way to be able to get new clients into their business and repeatedly make those sales and acquire those clients and then turn them obviously into a finished job. They don't have a rinse and repeat way of doing that, right? A lot of contractors just rely on referrals alone, but as you know, a lot of the time, the referrals that you get are going to be from a similar type of job that you've done. And so if you're trying to figure out how to get a more profitable type of job so you can grow, it's going to make it very difficult to be able to do that. And so the first step is, after obviously you've mastered the craft, is to figure out a sales and marketing funnel that's going to bring in new clients to you consistently. That's not just referrals, right? Because I'll tell you, once you start putting people on payroll and you've got this team that's expensive, then you want to be able to consistently bring in new jobs to pay for them. Because the reason that most contractors are always complaining about, hey, there's not enough good workers, or people, don't work hard and blah, 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 is usually because they can't afford to actually pay them what they're worth to keep them around. And the reason they can't pay them properly is because they don't have enough jobs coming in to be able to fulfill that type of work and pay someone what they're really worth, right? You're kind of stuck at this lower level dealing with these smaller jobs. And so you kind of have like someone who's maybe part-time, but they're doing some other stuff. And so you don't have enough quality work coming in to afford this person, maybe to pay them like $80,000 a year to handle most of the operations of like, what it is that you're doing. And the reason for that is you haven't figured out sales and marketing. And a lot of contractors will get stuck there. And so, sales and marketing, what does that look like? Well, you guys obviously know that we run Savant Marketing Agency and we do Facebook ads and Google ads for contractors, but that's just one avenue, right? Maybe what you do is trade shows, or maybe you've got some other systems. Maybe you've got magazines, or maybe you do door knocking, or maybe you do flyers as well. You should be doing all of this stuff, not just digital marketing. You should be doing it all so that you can be repeatedly bringing in new business for you, so that you don't have to worry about where the next jobs are going to come from. And once you have this problem sorted out, then this will allow you to hire someone to take over the delivery process, whether it's flooring or roofing or whatever. Now you've got someone who can handle doing the jobs for you. And so then your next step from there is you are now stepping into a manager role and a sales role. So now you've got someone who's doing like the jobs, you've got consistent jobs coming in. Now you are managing that person, and you're also focusing on the sales aspect. And this is how you can start to really scale your construction company $1 million or past $1 million, because then it just comes down to afterwards maybe finding a manager to manage those operations type people, and then you can build out a sales team so you're out of sales, and then you're just running the company of like the vision and all that, right? And so this is how you scale a construction company. But the very first step that it starts at is mastering the craft itself, getting really good, and then figuring out the marketing and sales. And most people don't get this right. You know, on the other day, I was on the phone with a flooring contractor, and he was talking about how frustrating it is that there's a lot of guys in his city that aren't very good at flooring, the type that he does. They're okay, but they're not great. But they have a very successful company. They're making a lot of money doing it. And the reason for that is that they've figured out sales and marketing. And so they've got all the jobs coming to them. And whether or not they do the best job, they're still growing at a much more rapid pace than he is, because he hasn't figured out the sales and marketing. He's a master at his craft, and he does a really good job of the actual delivery, but he hasn't figured out the sales and marketing side of the business. And so he's staying small, right? And so this is the conundrum, I guess. A lot of contractors will focus in on getting really, really good at the craft. But the reality is today in our world, in our society, is that it's the contractor who has the most attention on them possible that's going to attract those jobs, right? And so I hope you found this helpful. Maybe you're sitting there watching this and you're, doing around 500 or so a year, and you've got maybe a small team, but you're still on the tools and you haven't been able to get to that next level to really scale your business. Odds are it's probably a sales and marketing problem that doesn't allow you to step out of the delivery side so that you can actually lead the company at a higher level. And if you're a one-man show, you're probably still figuring out the delivery side. And if you figured that out, then your next problem is sales and marketing again. So you can hire one main helper or one main associate to really take over the actual jobs for you. And you're going to have to pay them well. And it's going to be worth it because you can step off the tools and start growing your business. So if you have any questions about this, comment below. I'd love for you to share some of your thoughts. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, again, ask away. So that was this time on this live broadcast, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See you later.